Gabe Daniel here with Tyler Nelson. Tyler, you had a really big weekend last weekend, 6 goals in 2 games. What's going to be the biggest key to carrying that momentum into this weekend?
I think we just got to come back with that fire we had in that first period of that first game. We're really motivated right now going into playoffs. We got the 4th seed, so I think just maintaining that motivation to finish off the season and finishing off with a sweep would really help.
And then with Omaha getting that last wild card spot in the conference playoffs, do you think that gets momentum on their end? And what do you think they're going to bring out this weekend?
They're definitely going to play with a little bit more fire. They're kind of like us. You know, they hadn't made the playoffs in a while, and we're both not new, but it's been a while since both programs. I think it was actually their first, so I think this is going to be a really good matchup. Both teams are going to come out with a lot of motivation to really prove a point going into playoffs, get a lot of teams shaking that are feeling a little bit comfortable right now. But I think for us, it's just matching their pace and playing above that.
And then what are just the biggest keys of this weekend?
I think working on our D zone right now. Like, we still have time before playoffs, but really focusing on the little things in the D zone so we can lock down and prevent any goals from happening. We're a pretty good offense, so I think where we lack is defense. So picking up that really makes us a deadly team.
Awesome. That's all I have for you. Thanks, Tyler. All right, Gabe Daniel here with Coach Andy McConnell. Coach, you guys had success earlier in the year against Omaha. What's going to be the biggest key heading into this weekend?
It's a team game, and this is a good team. They have 4 really high-level players. They're fast. They take advantage of their things that they do really well. So it's going to take the things that we know how to do well as well to be successful. We have the formula. We know what it is. It's just putting it to the test and going out there, getting better every shift, and again, taking this thing forward.
And then with both teams playing tonight, having a bid in the Matcha playoffs, what does that do for confidence on both sides?
Yeah, I think it's really good. You know, we're also right at the cusp of the top 25 in ACHA, and we got to stay there. So it's really simple. Winning's what matters. Everything else doesn't. You know, the things we can't control, don't worry about. The things that we can, we focus on, and to the best of our ability, go out there and win.
And then just real quick, Coach, what are 3 keys to the game?
Puck control, team play, again, so they fly the zone, they run a trap, so they make us play together, which we can do really well, but we got to do it for all 60 minutes. And then, you know, shots on net. Simple hockey. Stay out of the box. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Gabe.
Good evening and welcome from the Holland Ice Center here inside of Baxter Arena. Gabe Daniel alongside Mike Hobwick, where it's Kansas facing Omaha on the road. As it's the second time these two teams are meeting this season. Kansas took care of business earlier in the year as they defeated Omaha 3-2 on October 6th. And then that was an exciting overtime game. And then the next day handedly took it to them on October 7th with a 7-3 win. However, both teams in quite some time, first matcha playoff bid, that's obviously going to be a lot of momentum. Mike, what do you think Kansas is going to bring into this one today?
Energy. I mean, we saw that last week. We saw a 6-goal first period in that first game on Friday against Nebraska-Lincoln. I think we're going to be seeing that same thing. Lineup didn't really change too much. First line stayed the exact same. We'll see probably the same amount of energy, I think it's same tempo. They clinched a playoff spot. They're ready to go. They're not taking advantage of anything.
And obviously, for the first time ever, the Omaha Mavericks making a run at matcha, and just the turnaround they've had, especially compared to last year, and just the way that the club aspect of things has really started to build itself up. So it's just phenomenal to see, and that's going to be something that they're going to look to carry that momentum with, especially with a packed crowd. I mean, it's something I haven't really seen with some of these other matcha schools that we play.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome, actually. And one thing, like you said, they've been hot a couple times this year. They've pulled off multiple 4+ game winning streaks in the times that they really needed them. So we're going to see momentum from this Omaha team for sure. And the uniforms also aren't bad either. The cream uniforms.
Yeah, absolutely. As warm-ups starting to wrap up here, as we'll go ahead and introduce the starters for the Jayhawks. It's going to be number 12, Griffin Barker, making that jump up to the first line. He's going to be at wing with Tyler Nelson at center, Caleb Dusso at left wing, so not much of a change there with that. Back at the blue line, it'll be Zach Roberts and Blake Hearn, the usual starting D-men. And then, of course, in goal, it'll be number 30, Mitch Miles, looking to stay strong throughout his senior campaign.
Mitch Miles actually has on the year, he's 11-5. I mean, he's in net with a 3.71 goal average and 882 save percent, .882 save percent, I may add. So he's having a great year. Every time he's on the ice, they've got a better chance to win more than almost anyone else. It's really good to see Mitch Miles play this well during his senior campaign. See how that continues tonight, actually. I'm excited. This is going to be a good matchup. Like you said, the Friday of the last weekend series with these two teams, Tyler Nelson had that overtime winner that was posted on a lot of college hockey sites, like for national college hockey sites. Absolutely dirty moves.
Yeah, no, and I was going to say, I don't think I've ever had a call of mine go that viral, but thank you to Tyler Nelson for that one. But we'll go ahead and introduce the starters for the Mavericks. At left wing, it'll be Matthew Howell. At center, Andrew Kozel. And then at right wing, it'll be Logan Mercier. Back at defense, it'll be number 16, Camden Fours, with number 40, Troy Hunsaker. And then in goal, it'll be number 33, CJ Tate. So one thing to note about this Omaha team is I think like all but 3 players are from Nebraska. So that just shows you how local and how much they buy into this program.
Yeah, when you really look at this roster, you're right. Only about 3 of them. Everyone else, a lot of Omaha-bred kids here, actually. More than half their roster. But one player that you want to look forward to on this Omaha team is number 14, Zach Hoffman. He's got 40 points on there. He's got the same amount of goals as Nelson does. He's 23, 17, and 40. So he's a goal-scoring machine just like Nelson is, and he can get a couple good passes in there for assists too. So that's one player you really have to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing you do want to keep an eye on for the Jayhawk fans tuning in is just that third line for Kansas with Michael Fantoni, Jack Gerber, and Lance Medina. They really did a lot of good work, especially last week in Lincoln, where they had half of the goals in that first period.
Yeah, they really did. They came to play in that first game. They were on fire, 2 or 3 goals in that first period, like you just mentioned. They just have to keep playing that way, and they're going to keep getting moved up. I wouldn't be surprised if they played like they did last game. Wouldn't be surprised if they threw out the third line to start the second period, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And then just another thing, the way that second line for Kansas has started to click as well has just been phenomenal, as we'll take a quick break here for the national anthem. All right, both teams strap the buckets back on, get one last word from their coaches as we're set for a late Friday night game.
This is going to be a firework-filled game, I have a feeling, Gabe.
A good mix of families from Kansas making the trip, and then obviously a good number of students from UNO supporting the D3 team, and especially nice to see with the D1 team playing right on the other side.
Yeah, I was just about to say that same exact thing. The D1 team ranked in the top 25 nationally in NCAA is also playing probably, 100 feet, 200 feet away from us, and we got a really good turnout here. It's just awesome to see. You see club hockey like this get this reputation. It's awesome.
And I remember just scrolling through and seeing the Hockey House pod, and it looks like there is a new team in Nebraska, especially with the way that Omaha has taken it by storm, with Creighton and Lincoln having been in the matcha for a while. It's looking like the Mavericks are here to stay.
Absolutely. And we're about to see them come out with they're going to be ready for this one.
As the faceoff quickly won back over to Hearn, crossed over to Roberts, and a head man up over to Duso, who tries to find Nelson, but it goes right over to Hunsicker and sent out. Kansas was able to chop it back into the zone, so the Mavericks get it back.
There was a fast start, fast faceoff win there.
As Fours with it. A little slow, cross ice over to Hunsicker, and he'll try to get a head man up over to Mercier. Goes right to Roberts, bank pass up over to Nelson on the right wing. He'll stop right in front of the Omaha bench, try to cross ice pass to do so. But it's going to be Mercier with a saucer pass. He'll chip it around the boards, left it for Kozel, and then Kozel try to drop it back, and it's going to be Feeney intercepting. Feeney, saucer, try to get it over to Nelson, goes a little too far. And the Jayhawks will get a change there. Picked up into the corner by Feeney, spinning off a hit. Still has control of the puck. He's able to leave it up over to Schubert. Schubert sending it back around. It's going to be picked up there by Fours. From the blue line, Breyer with the drive, blockered away by Tate. Siddons on the rebound as he heads up towards the deep slot. Wristing one there, missing the net. And it's going to be held in by Schubert again. A shot on net and a stoppage with 18:44 left to go here in the first period.
That was a nice hit by Feeney there in that corner. We can't really see it too well, but we did see it. It kept the puck in the zone and allowed Kansas to get that shot on net there. It was a quick start.
So the faceoff taking place to the right of Tate, and it was almost won by Siddons, but it looked like it was just tied up. Omaha able to send it out, but right back to get it is Schubert for Kansas. Schubert got it to Siddons. He's going to have to draw back a little bit. Retreating it to Schubert. Lost it as it's Kozel with it. Kozel wrapping around the net. Still with it as he has it at the hash marks now. At the point, sent back in Kozel. His pass intercepted there by Schubert. Cross ice to Nessa. Headman up over to Siddons. Siddons had it at his feet, and he's able to lay a reverse hit there on Jace Paul.
Great job by Schubert in front of the net. Didn't allow the wraparound opportunity.
So a little back and forth action for it's picked up by Siddons. Siddons trying to find it up over to Gerber. Gerber got it back. Nice backhand pass over to Siddons. A nice move. Backhand pass. Shoots. Save made by Tate. Held in by Van Heerden. Wristing one from the point. Blocked up front. And a stoppage here. I believe the net might be off.
It was a nice move by Siddons there. He dangled. He had an opportunity. It was just a great save there. He went right in between the legs of that defenseman on Omaha. I'm not sure who that was, but that was absolutely gorgeous. He created opportunity again with the speed in his handles. Siddons is sneakily good at that. He's done that multiple times this year that we've seen. That game last week, that Friday game, he had one of those goals actually.
So the face-off won by Kansas. Walsh tried to cross-ice pass just right at the blue line. Omaha able to get it out, and offsides on the Jayhawks as Gerber picked it up a little too far.
We really are seeing a fast start, aren't we? We were both expected that, but this is extremely, back and forth already. We saw this in the second Nebraska-Lincoln game last weekend, too. That Saturday game, it was back and forth just constantly.
So this face-off controlled by Omaha, shot right on the doorstep, and Miles coming up with a big save there. A great chance there by Zach Hoffman.
Zach Hoffman is going to be the key factor, like we talked about pregame. He's the one who's just putting the puck in the net. 23 goals, 17 assists. So you just got to look out for him.
So Fantoni won the draw back over to Walsh, having a race after it in the corner, and he's double teamed there. So Fantoni will jump in to help him. Crossed over to Van Heerden. Omaha quick to the corners there. As it's going to be Casiopo with it. Sending it back around. Van Heerden got it back. He's going to try to play it off over to Medina, but it's forced back in by the Mavericks as it's picked up in the corner by Hoffman. Casiopo, Hoffman on the doorstep, couldn't connect there, and Medina with it now. He's able to lift it up, got it out of the zone, and it's going to be a foot race for the puck. Fantoni a nice stick lift, but the Mavericks still control it. Hunsicker circling around with the puck. He'll drop it back over to Fours. As Fours will walk it in now on the right side, try to loft it in the air. Looked like Gerber got a piece of it, but Roberts will take control for the Jayhawks in the corner.
Great hand-eye coordination by Gerber to get that puck out of midair. Let the Jayhawks get a change here. That's much needed.
As it's Mercier with it. Up on the left side, dropped it back, a shot up front. Miles might have gotten a piece of that there. As it's Roberts again, backhand pass over to Hearn. Hearn, head man up over to Mead. Mead lost control, had it poked right off his stick. And it's going to be thrown in the zone by Howell. Sent back to the tape of Sachs and banked into the zone. And Roberts will pick up once more. Try to wrap it around and get it to Mead, but it ends up going to the tape of Williams. Williams over to Sachs, got it up over to Kozel, knocked down. Kansas got away with one there as there was a shot out of play and a stoppage with 15:57 left to go.
Yeah, you're right, Gabe. I think they did get away with one right there. It looked like, I don't know if he just fell, just slipped on it, or if he got, it looked like he did get tripped a little bit. It was Andrew Kozel. He's not really pleading with anything. Maybe he did just slip, but Kansas got to win the face-off here. Get some control, get some zone time. Last couple minutes has been all Omaha. They could have gotten out of zone a couple times, and Omaha gets right back in it.
So 15:57 left to go. Zero's our score. It was a pass intended to get to Caleb Dusso, but the Mavericks get it back as it's Schubert going to work in the corner for Kansas. Freed it up, then Kozel throwing it back in. Wrapped around Dusso. Taken away there at the point by Fours. He'll wrist it in. Mercier has it. Short side shot. Miles using the shoulder there to stop that one. Wrapped around to Barker. He was able to chop it up. Forced back in. As Barker trying to get it out for Kansas as he wrapped it around. Intended it for Dusso. Shot kicked away up front there by Breyer. Now Barker again. Off the boards. Schubert chips it off the glass. Got it out of the zone, but it goes right to the tape of the Mavericks as Fours will drop it back. Hunsicker has it now. Hunsicker skating around Barker as he crosses the blue line with it now. Dropped it over to Hoffman. Hoffman to Huppy. A backhand shot sent to the corner. Schubert trying to send it around, and a cross-ice pass wide open in the slot. Hoffman scores.
There's Zach Hoffman. And somehow he just got right in front of Mitch Miles. They just snuck through. Nothing you can't really do about that. And Omaha came out with a fast start, and they capitalized right there.
Yeah, so just an ill-advised play back under the goalie, under the goal line rather, and was able to capitalize just wide open in the slot.
And that's not the guy. That's the last guy you need to leave wide open if you're Kansas.
So the face-off quickly taken away by the Huskers. A shot shouldered by Miles. He thought he had it, but it was loose in the slot. Now Feeney quick to get on it. Now Feeney skating it in, got hooked a little bit, was able to play it to the corner. Now he's back on it. Now Feeney able to play it up over to Van Heerden. Van Heerden trying to bank it off the boards and get it back in. And the Mavericks take it away as it's going to be Mercier with it. Now Mercier getting stick lifted there by Siddons. Siddons trying to kick it back to his tape. And it's thrown to the corner as it's Casiopo with it. Van Heerden trying to wrap it around.
Siddons may have single-handedly prevented a 2-on-1 breakaway right there by keeping the stick on him.
As it was Paul holding the line, and Siddons trying to find Nessa with the headman pass. As this cross over to Paul. Casiopo missing a hit on Siddons as it's going to be sent back in. And dumped in a foot race for the puck, but Gerber a little too behind. So it will be an icing on the Jayhawks.
Omaha came ready to play today, didn't they? They are all over it in this first period. Not even 7 minutes in yet. Kansas needs they need a good face-off win. They need to just gain control of this puck. I don't think they've had true control of the puck in probably 4 or 5 minutes. It's been a long time.
So it's going to be Walsh skating it around. Try to chip it off the boards. It was intended for Gerber, but it went a little too far there. As it's going to be Walsh, cross-ice Van Heerden. Now Van Heerden rimming it around the boards. As it's going to go right over to Sachs. Sachs try to cross-ice pass to Casiopo, and it's sent back the other way. Tate playing it back behind his own net, got it over to Sachs, who wrapped it around. Connects with Williams. Williams, the headman pass, right over to Hearn now. Roberts, headman intended for Gerber, and he's able to steal it there. Walking it in, Gerber trying to kick it back to his stick. And it's going to be Casiopo leading the charge for the Mavericks now.
Got a penalty here, it looks like.
And it looks like it's on Lance Medina. Slashing the call. So 12:58 remaining in period number 1, and an Omaha power play on the way.
Not the thing that you needed right now for Kansas. Absolutely zero momentum or anything, and the power of being on the penalty kill this early is not what you need. They just need to just keep getting the puck out of the zone here. Back to that shot from around the very deep in the zone. Mitch Miles it deflected right off him. He thought he had control of it, and he didn't. We saw that all last weekend in that UNL series for Broadfoot and Cope, the Nebraska goalies, and it led to countless goals and opportunities. So he's got to find a way to just see that puck in, and I think he will. I think he's just maybe a little bit in his head after that first goal, even though it wasn't his fault.
So the Mavericks with it in their defensive zone. Having a draw back. Nelson providing the pressure. Fanning on the pass there was Huppy. Huppy sent it right to the tape of Tyler Nelson. He's going to draw a defender back. Now Roberts with it. Roberts off the glass, sends it all the way back, and Kozel with it for the Mavericks. He's going to head behind his own net.
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw Tyler Nelson try a little shorthanded rush like he did last week and ended up with a penalty shot and a goal.
As it's Hoffman with it, a cross over to Kozel. Kozel drawing it back over to Hoffman. In the deep slot, Hoffman shoots one, kicked away by Miles. And on the rebound, Kozel has it now. Tried a short side shot, heavily contested. Hearn with a nice stick lift, has it back behind the net. He'll use the glass to clear, but can't get it out. Hoffman held the line across the Kozel. A one-time shot there up front, kicked away by Miles, and the rebound picked up by Mercier. Mercier trying to play it off the boards to get it up over to Kozel. Do so against the board, sends it up over to Nelson, but quickly slapping that away.
Great stick work by the captain there.
So Nelson, a nice move, shooting. Tate making the kick save there.
I was just mentioning, try to look. You got another shorthanded shot there. He's just the dangles and the stick handling is unreal from Tyler Nelson. He makes any opportunity there.
And then Mercier just barely getting through Siddons and Feeney as there was a shot there, blocked away by Miles. Siddons able to send it out of the zone. About 8 seconds left on their power play. So a pretty successful penalty kill here by the Jayhawks.
Absolutely. They got almost as many shots on goal as Omaha did in that, with being a man down.
As Casiopo skates it into the corner. Casiopo lost control. Breyer skating it up, lost his stick as it was knocked out of his hands. Now it's going to be Schubert with it. Cross ice pass intended for Casiopo. Couldn't connect there. Siddons trying to get it out. As they have it again. This time it's going to be Nessa playing it off the boards.
That was a dangerous situation right there on the opposite end. Omaha had a 3-on-1 advantage there. Just couldn't connect on the pass right in front of the net. That's how they scored the first goal.
So Breyer wrapping it in. Kansas having to get back on side. As there's another turnover there by the Mavericks that the Jayhawks just can connect on. So Casiopo with it from the deep slot, blocked by Walsh. As it's going to be Zolek with it. It's going to be Feeney picking it up. He tries to send it out of the zone, but it's Sachs just using his body right against the boards. As it's a headman pass intended for Nessa, lost control as it's sent back. And now Schubert off the boards, trying to find it up over to Nessa. Sent in by the Mavericks, picked up by Walsh, wrapped around over to Van Heerden. Van Heerden, the headman pass up over to Meade. He's going to walk it in, shooting, kicked away by Tate, and the rebound over to Pendleton. Pendleton throwing it back around the boards. Walsh holding the line. Is this going to be Meade sending it around?
That was the best opportunity they've had so far this first period. It's unfortunate that just couldn't sneak that through the 5 hole as though it looked like he was trying to do.
Now it's going to be picked up by Walsh in the corner. Walsh lost control. Mercier got it back. Now Mercier in the corner. He's getting heavily pressured by Meade. Sent away. Walsh able to get it out of the zone, and it's going to come all the way back. Played right to Tate, and he'll hang on for an icing.
You mentioned it earlier, Gabe, a couple minutes ago, that the turnover by the Mavericks in their own zone, Jayhawks aren't capitalized on that. You're not going to get many of those mistakes from a team like Omaha. You got to find a way to just make sure those count. This is the perfect opportunity here to get a couple more shots, though, on goal. See what Tate's made of here.
So a face-off win over to Hearn. It was Fantoni who got it back to him, sent to the corner, intended for Gerber. Fantoni picking it back up. Try to get a shot off, poked away there. I believe it was by Hunsicker, and Hearn able to get it up over to Gerber. Now Gerber trying to find Medina, but it goes a little far. And the Mavericks have it back behind their own net. Hunsicker in the right corner will skate it up. The backhand pass connects with Huppy. Now Huppy's going to walk it in. He'll stop. Cross ice intended for Hoffman. Couldn't connect. Now Hoffman trying to pass. Broken up by Roberts, and Medina trying to dive down and block it. Hoffman took a weird shot. The rebound going over to Medina. Medina able to get it out of the zone. And Hunsicker playing it back the other way.
That was a pretty ridiculous cross ice pass from Huppy there. He had Hoffman sitting right there. Hoffman just missed. Close to a too many men penalty there, might actually have been. You heard a couple Kansas fans wanting that one.
So Casiopo walking in, shot blocked away by Miles. The rebound sent over to Dusso in the corner. As Dusso was able to get it out of the zone, try to get it over to Gerber, sent right back the other way, and now Dusso trying to walk it up again. Now Hearn, Dusso couldn't catch the pass. He was able to get a headman up over to Nelson though. As Nelson with it, he's going to wrap around the net and carry it around at the top of the circle. He'll button hook the other way. Nelson to Schubert. Schubert risking it through traffic, tipped up front. The rebound, no good. Held in there by Nelson. So over to Schubert, backhanding it in the other way to Dusso.
A lot of hitting in that corner.
Now Schubert trying to throw it on net. Barker was just right on the doorstep to try and tip it in. Schubert gets knocked down as it's thrown to the corner. Now around to Mercier. Mercier stick lifted off the puck. He was able to send it out. As it's going to be Schubert with it. Schubert, his headman pass up over to Dusso. To Breyer now. Breyer walking in, shooting. Tate made the save, the rebound, and Nelson scores. And it's tied at 1 with 6:18 left to go.
24th on the season, Gabe. Just another deflection off the goalie's pads. I don't know if it was deflected off of his or if it was a defenseman. It hit off his skate or something, and Nelson was right there. It's the second time this game that the best goal scorer on each team has just been sitting there right in front of the net with a wide open net.
Absolutely. So that's 7 goals in just his 3rd game in a row.
It's a pretty ridiculous stat. That's what Kansas needed, though. Absolutely. Just needed a break like that.
So the faceoff's in back over to Walsh. And looked like he tried to send it out, but it got deflected out of play. So a stoppage with 6:11 remaining in period number 1.
What an explosive first period. I think this is everything that you and I thought and wanted it to be. Just a great hockey game so far.
So the face-off sent right over to Nessa. And he'll get it across over to Siddons. Siddons, a backhand pass over to Feeney. Feeney lost it. Now he's going to have to chase after it in the corner. Nessa goes in to help out with that battle. It's poked up. Held in by Siddons. But a little too much pressure. He got knocked off the puck. And it's going to be skated in there by Kozel. A shot right to the glove of Miles, showing the windmill there.
Nice little glove save. Quick reaction there. That was a pretty fast shot there, honestly. A little talking after the play.
So the face-off will take place to the right of Miles. 1-1 our score, just about 15 minutes into this one.
On that last rush that Omaha had, Gabe, they had another guy standing wide open in front of the net. I believe it was number 40, Hunziker there. He was just sitting right there and couldn't connect on the pass. That's about like the 5th time that's happened this game so far. They like to have those guys sitting in front of the net.
Nice headman up over to Feeney on the right side. He tries a shot, and that gave Tate a little bit of a problem to try and hang on to.
That's what you need to do, though. You need to just keep firing shots and shots, and then maybe eventually one of them is going to go in. Sometimes those pucks just, the goalies don't see it right, and they sneak in like that. Or deflection.
So the face-off to the left of Tate, controlled by the Mavericks. Right off the hop goal, cleared out. Kansas having to get back on side. That allows Huppy to backhand it over to Paul. Intercepted there by Gerber, who's just going to walk in. As Medina lost control. That sends the puck right over to Sachs. Across to Kozel. Kozel on the right side, kicked away by Miles. Fantoni picking up the loose puck now. On the right side, making a move around Paul. Fantoni, backhand pass intended for Hearn, just wasn't quite there in time.
If that pass is on Hearn, Hearn's got a wide open net right there.
As it's around over to Paul. Cross to Sachs, intercepted by Gerber. Dropped it to Fantoni. Fantoni trying to shoot it through traffic. Tate making a save there. So that one's up into the air, caught and played down by Hearn. Hearn just lofts it to the corner. That gets a partial change going for the Jayhawks.
Much needed one. They were tired.
As it's Gerber with it. Gerber getting stick lifted there. With it is Hoffman. A nice poke check there from Breyer, and Breyer's going to just start turning on the Jets. Breyer, he's going to curl around. Dropped it back. Nelson in the slot gets knocked down. Breyer on the rebound. Wraparound shot over the net. As it's going to be Schubert. He's going to walk it in. From the corner, a shot deflected. It'll find its way back to the point where Breyer has it. He's going to wrist one, missing the net there. And the rebound picked up by the Mavericks as they try to wrap it out. It's going to go right over to number 13. And then the headman up over to Casiopo. He was fast enough, beat the icing. As it's going to be picked up by Barker. And Barker will take a tumble into the corner. So Breyer with it again. He's going to skate it up on the right side. Saucer pass over to Dusso. Dusso on the left. Top of the circle, tries to throw something. Not on net. Barker wrapping it around the boards, keeping it into the zone for Kansas. As it's going to be picked up by Dusso now. Dusso ensuring it over to Schubert. Schubert through traffic. Not on net. And the Mavericks able to get it out of the zone. And it'll be picked up there by Nelson.
That last rush that Kansas just had, Hoffman laid a great hit on Nelson right there. Nelson had a wide open net. It was a great pass too, and Hoffman made a great play. Just hit him, threw him off the trajectory a little bit.
So great use of the body there. Got the puck right over to Nelson. Lost control, held in by Nessa. And Nessa tries to wrist one through traffic. It hit the skate of, I believe that was number 24, Jack O'Laughlin.
And someone's stick just got hit way out.
So Griffin Barker loses his stick.
Yeah, that was deliberate. You can see him right after that happened. He went, looked at the ref, and just kind of put his arms up. And it's going to result in a power play.
So it's going to be number 16, Camden Fours, heading off for slashing, which puts Kansas on the power play for the first time tonight.
Need to capitalize on this power play. Last weekend on that Saturday game, they really took advantage of it. But the day before, they didn't have many opportunities on Friday. So they got to take advantage of this one because you don't know how many of these you're going to get.
So a power play unit with a little bit of a scoring threat.
Good face-off win.
So back over to Siddons, quickly to do so. And do so at the top of the circle. Works it back into the corner. Siddons now. He'll get it up over to Nelson in the deep slot across to Feeney. Feeney in the slot, do so. Just unable to get a shot off. Wrapped around the boards behind the net to Nessa. Nessa got it back to do so. So Kansas trying the umbrella setup again as Nelson tried a one-time shot from the point. So Nelson again, he's just going to draw it in further. Now over to Feeney. Feeney having to send it back to the corner. Nessa getting pressured there. He's able to get it right back though. So Nessa to the point, couldn't connect to Feeney. It just skips over the blue line.
He connects to Feeney on that one. There was a dangerous opportunity. Mavericks were all over the place. They weren't set.
So Nelson, headman pass, moves in with speed, pressured off the puck back behind the net, and it's sent out by the Mavericks again.
Gotta get a partial change here for the Jayhawks.
So Miles left it for Feeney. Feeney dropped it over to Siddons. Now Siddons walking it in. On the left side, tries a shot, missing the net there. Minute 18 left to go, 1-1 still our score.
So he did a good rush here with Nelson.
Nelson has it, up on the left side. Poked off the puck with ease there. Backhanded out of the zone, rather it was held in by Feeney. Over to Duso. Duso to Medina. As it's over to Feeney. To Nelson. Back to Feeney. The Mavericks crowding the slot here. They were able to block that pass as it's Feeney with a wraparound shot tipped up there by Medina. As the Mavericks back to full strength, a great penalty kill by them, but Kansas getting a couple of looks.
Just going to capitalize on them.
Wrapped around Siddons, a drop pass over to Nelson. Nelson shaking off the hit there by Zolek. To the point, Medina ripping one. Unable to find the net there, as it's going to be over to Duso. To Roberts. Through traffic, kicked away there by Tate. In the corner now, it's going to be Casiopo trying to send it out for the Mavs.
They're going to try to get one last rush here before this period ends.
Lofted up in the air. Nice play by Nelson. Got the puck away as Medina was able to backhand it up and out. Roberts will dump it in, and that will do it for the first period here at Holland Ice. Both teams tied at 1. Gabe Daniel, Mike Hoblich on the call. We'll be back in just a little bit for period number 2. live from Holland Ice Arena for period number 2. Both teams heading out back tied at 1. Gabe Daniel alongside Mike Hoblich. It was really slow start to the game until it was Hoffman just wide open in the slot, able to put one past Miles, and then a flurry of chaos went right over to Tyler Nelson, and he was able to capitalize on that. Mike, what does Kansas need to do differently?
Start off faster. Last period, you saw Omaha came out way more faster than Kansas did, and it ended up with a goal being put on very early in this game. Kansas has just got to come out fire. I'm pretty sure that's what Coach Andy, pressured into them in that locker room during intermission. So I'm guessing a lot faster start. So we should see that now, actually. That was a great first period of hockey, though. As you see, they have the shots on goal now. Jayhawks had 15. The Mavericks had 9. So see if they can keep the pressure up.
As it's sent into the zone, right back on it is number 16. Fours for the Mavericks as it's wrapped around, kept in by Roberts. Roberts wristing one from the blue line, and it looked like it might have found its way out of play.
Looks like it did. Already a shot on goal. That was only 18 seconds in. Looked like the puck took a weird bounce off the boards and found Zach Roberts.
And it looks like even more fans are starting to pour into the Holland side.
I believe the D1 game just came to an end, so this is kind of cool to see.
So the face-off won back over to Fours, wrapped it around the boards, and it's going to be held in by Hearn, using the body, pinching it against the boards, over to Barker. Hearn on the doorstep, and a save made by Tate. And it's going to be Duso try to wrap around shot from an odd angle, and it's going to be saucered out of the zone, up over to Hunsicker. Hunsicker makes a nice move. Roberts sent it away, but it's going to be drove back in by Howell, right to the glove of Miles.
Nice little slap shot there from almost around the circle there. Already a fast start, much faster start than we saw in the first period. Both sides just going right down the ice, getting a couple shots on net.
So 19-19 left to go, period number 2, and the face-off controlled by Omaha. Mercier in the corner, passing it back, deep slot. Paul rishing one, kicked away by Miles. Loose in the slot, and it's going to be Siddons picking up the rebound. Cross-ice pass over to Feeney. Feeney dropping it back, getting it to Breyer. Breyer, headman, up to Nessa, and now Nessa's going to walk it in. He'll try a shot, it might have been blocked up front. Siddons trying to send it back, and it's going to be taken away by Hoffman. Now Hoffman generating speed. He tries a shot right on Miles. Pressure to the corner, and Schubert's going to go to work. Freed it up right over to Hoffman. His pass intercepted by Breyer. Breyer able to get it out of the zone, but sends it right to Paul. And then it's going to be offsides on Kansas.
You're talking about on the couple little shots that Mitch Miles saved. He did a great job making sure that the 5-hole wasn't an option for the Mavericks not to put the puck through his legs. Did a great job. I'm pretty sure he saved around 3 shots right there, just back to back to back. Good job seeing that. After that early goal, he's played very well so far.
Kansas out shooting Omaha 15-9. Is off the draw, it's quickly dumped in. Tate to play it, left it for Hunsicker. Hunsicker pressured by Fantoni, but it's going to be sent over to Fours. Fours try to skip it across. Fantoni now providing the pressure, held in there by Medina. So a lot of back and forth there before Casiopo finally gets it, and he'll get it over to Hoffman. A shot missing the net there. Zolek on it to keep it in. Threw it to the corner right over to Walsh, sending it around, intending it for Van Heerden, but Casiopo across to Hoffman. Hoffman now in the corner, walking it up. His shot missing the net there. And then Fours able to hold the line, but lost his footing. And it's another turnover there.
Not a good turnover there. They had a man advantage there if they just kept going down the ice. It just looked like it caught a weird skate maybe.
And it was a nice pass up over to Gerber. Gerber waits across. Medina scores!
Absolutely filthy by Gerber there. That was beautiful. Just a beautiful goal. Man, wow. All around gorgeous there. They needed that lead too. I mean, as soon as he made that move on that defenseman there, it was over.
Yeah, absolutely. But that play doesn't happen without Michael Fantoni.
No, absolutely not.
Right along the boards, Fantoni using his body, he's able to poke the puck up. Jack Gerber's right there to get it. He skates it in, and then he sees Medina clear as day open at the back door.
Definition of a glue guy there, winning the battle on the boards and leading to that opportunity there.
And then right off the hop, Nelson skating it in. Barker going to work in the corner to try and get it loose. It's going to be freed up to Roberts. Roberts playing it into the corner. As Nelson poked off the puck, Barker able to free it up for Schubert, who was able to hold the line. Barker couldn't quite hold it in as it was just right outside the zone. And then Roberts getting tied up there. So as soon as Barker got up back to his feet, he got knocked back down. The Mavericks are able to get it out.
They did not want him getting back up.
As it's thrown in. No icing. Hearn picking it up back behind his own net. And he's going to get a headman pass. Unable to connect there, so as it's over to Sachs. Sachs now walking it in, shooting it just over the net, and it'll ride its way around over to Dusso. Wide open pass over to Nelson. He's just going to fly in a nice stop move. Nelson, forehand, he scores!
Oh, he did it again. He did it again. He got hit and still, he just ate that hit and just put it in the net. This is ridiculous. That's his 8th goal in the last 3 games. You don't see that ever at any level.
Tyler Nelson just has a niche for scoring highlight reel goals against Nebraska teams because, man, that was a beautiful play.
He looked like he ate up multiple hits on that. It was a good poke check there by one of the defensemen. He kept it right there and then got hit and put it up. That was insane.
So the face-off one back over to Breyer. Breyer now on the puck for the Jayhawks. In the corner, he's able to spin around off a man. Headman pass, unable to connect with Mead. It was a good look, but it did get tipped into the zone, so no icing there. And then that's just great physicality there by Mead, and he's going to get called for that one.
Yeah, looked like he grabbed the shoulder a little bit and threw him down. Looks like the student section's trying to get a chant going. All right, see if the penalty kill can keep going again. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play, so let's see if the Jayhawks penalty kill can stop them again.
So the Mavericks looking to stop the bleeding here with a chance on the power play. 16:09 left to go. Kansas now leads 3-1. So a really, really fast start for the Jayhawks here in this second period as opposed to the first 20. And right off the hop, it's thrown to the corner, and the Jayhawks going to work. Sidden's able to send it all the way back. Tate will play it, and he's going to leave it comfortably for Sachs.
It's a great job by Schubert. He won the puck battle in the corner and let that puck to be cleared.
So sent around, left for Hunsicker. Hunsicker skating it up. On the right side, poked off the puck there by Siddons. As it's thrown back in over to Schubert. Schubert, he's going to patiently wait for a cross ice over to Breyer. Breyer just will decide to throw it down. Tate will settle it for Sachs once more. Sachs will chop it across over to Hunsicker. Hunsicker pressured, forcing it back over as it's Zolek now. Zolek on the right side. He's going to generate some speed, chopping it to the corner, chasing after it. Pressured heavily there by Schubert. That's great defense there by him.
Playing great defense so far this game. He's been in on multiple board battles and just hits like that. He's creating turnovers too.
So Hunsicker now drawing it in, working his way back up. Send it back. A one-time shot there in the slot. Nice save by Miles as he threw it to the corner. Now Breyer just trying to get it up. Couldn't quite get it out.
3 Mavericks on Breyer there. Good job clearing that one.
Yeah, that's John Feeney right there, able to get it out of the zone, and that'll get a change going for the Jayhawks.
Much needed one.
And there's going to be Hoffman flying down on the left side. Hoffman cross ice, intended it for Huppy, but it goes a little too far. So it's going to be Howell now trying to wrap it back in. Hoffman in the corner. He's going to walk it up.
If Huppy got his stick on that puck right there, this is a 3-2 game.
Kept into the zone. As it's sent all the way back down, foot race for the puck, picked up by Nelson. He's going to drop it back. Duso shoots, and a save made by Tate. Nelson fighting for the puck, and it looks like it was picked up by Howell. Thrown to the corner. Duso now battling against Howell.
Captain almost got himself a goal there himself.
As it's over, Huppy, headman, a little far, and an icing call here, and the stoppage coming with 13:45 left to go.
Much needed stoppage here for both sides. Nelson had a great pass to Duso there. I think you're right, Gabe. It looked like he either got a piece of that, Tate either got a piece of that, or that rang off the post. It was one or the other. Either way, Duso almost found himself with another goal right there.
So it's won back over to number 23, Howell, and sent all the way back down. Foot race for the puck as Huppy was able to negate the icing, as there's a nice hit there by Roberts, using that big body of his. As it's going to be taken away there by Nelson. Try to get it up over to Barker, but the Mavericks able to send it back in.
You get a couple guys off here for the Mavericks.
So Nelson just generating speed. Dropping it back over to Duso, unable to connect on the one-time shot.
Almost looked like the same exact play from a couple minutes ago. Duso found him. Nelson found Duso right there.
So Mercier tried a shot up front, sent to the corner. Now along the boards. Kansas able to clear it, can't get it out as it's held in there by number 24. That's O'Laughlin.
Just can't get it clear.
So it's sent over to Duso now. Duso, bank pass, able to get it up over to Nelson. Nelson shoots one, save made by Tate, and on the rebound, Gerber gets denied as Tate just unable to control that rebound, but luckily was able to stretch over at the last second.
Yeah, credit to Tate. The great couple of saves right there. It looked like Gerber had a wide open net. And Duso, but that pass off the boards was unbelievable. It was right to Nelson. Nelson didn't even have to adjust to it.
As it's sent across over to Fours. Fantoni to Duso. Back to Fantoni. Now it's chopped up over to Gerber. Gerber trying to get a pass over to Fantoni. Hit a skate of a Maverick, and Cassioppo will get one over to Zolek. Now Zolek moving in, right side cross ice, intended for Hunsicker. Now Hunsicker will circle back. He's pressured off the puck there by Fantoni. That forced it into the corner to Cassioppo. Hunsicker again. Curling back up. Pressured, forced it to Sachs. A shot through traffic, finds its way to Miles. And a stoppage with 11:33 left to go.
I'm not sure how that puck found Miles. We're at the perfect angle where we can see that shot right off the bat, and there was about 4 bodies right in front of him. I don't know how that just didn't deflect off something. A great job by Miles recognizing that and just securing it.
So the face-off won by the Jayhawks. Breyer tried to bank pass over to Medina and just inches away.
This is a game of inches. Absolutely. It was right there. That puck, if that puck doesn't reach Tate in time, great opportunity there. That's the second time we've seen a board pass almost lead to a goal. Use the boards to your advantage if you can. Those passes are crucial. That's how you win games.
So the face-off won back to Gerber. He has it in the corner. Now Gerber over to Breyer. Breyer thought about shooting it. Instead, he'll wait. He'll walk it into the corner. Breyer again trying to find someone at the back door. Medina wasn't quite there in time. So Medina has it again. He backhands it into the corner for Gerber to pick it up back behind the net. Gerber tried to pass that was intended for someone in the slot, but it's taken away there by Howell. Howell able to get it out of the zone, poked away there by Fantoni. Fantoni able to reach it and send it in as he was falling down. It's going to be picked up there by Paul.
Schubert has kept constant pressure on the guy he's been told to get on for this entire game so far. He had a great job just following and almost looked like he was contributed majorly in that puck being poked away and that rush being stopped.
So a turnover at center ice, picked up by Nessa. He'll swing in on the left side. Nessa trying to drop it back, and it's at the blue line where Hearn with a drive. Sachs now off the boards. Held in by Roberts, and it's blocked. Now Kozel, a foot race for the puck. Picked it up in the corner. He'll play it around, and it's going to be taken away by Siddons. It's a 2-on-1. Siddons to Feeney. Feeney, Siddons fanning on the shot right on the back door. Brett Siddons just nearly making it a 3-goal lead.
Almost looked like that puck just bounced weird on them. They set that up perfectly. Nothing really you can really do about that. Puck just didn't bounce their way there.
As it was tipped into the zone by Mercier. No icing as Walsh will pick it up now. Walsh to Hearn. Headman, Mead. And he's knocked off the puck. And then a
nice
big hit in the corner there by Siddons. As play coming down the other end. Kozel with a shot, missing the net. The rebound opportunity blocked up front by Walsh. A wraparound shot. Somehow not finding its way past Miles.
And you know who's sitting right in front of the net again wide open? It was Zach Hoffman. So the Jayhawks are very lucky right there.
So Van Heerden across over to Mead. Mead shooting, missing the net there. Now it's going to be picked up by Kozel. He's going to be knocked down by Van Heerden. Van Heerden gets knocked right. He knocked Kozel right into the linesman and probably took the wind out of the linesman right there.
Linesman popped right back up. Absolute glue guy right there.
So it's Kozel with it now, back behind the net. Trying to pass it into the slot, and he'll walk it up a little bit, curling around.
A lot of pressure here for the Mavericks. Trying to get a line change here. Or at least not a line change, just a couple players getting off.
As Hoffman has it now, trying to pass it up front to Zolek. Zolek to Kozel. Kozel in the left corner. Shot from an odd angle. Didn't really do anything there. Hoffman a shot through traffic. Not on net, and it's thrown back in. Around picked up by Walsh. Walsh off the boards trying to get it out.
Just can't get the puck out of the zone here.
Now Hoffman still with it, shooting it in, missing the net. Hunsicker off the rebound. Kansas really needed to get it out of the zone so they can have an opportunity to get a line change. As it's going to be Zolek with it. Zolek to Kozel.
That's exactly what Omaha's trying to do. They're trying to tire them out so they can get better shots. They're trying to find guys wide open.
A one-time shot up front by Zolek, and some extracurriculars here as they were trying to poke home a puck that wasn't loose.
Omaha, I think, frustrated a little bit that they couldn't find the puck in the back of the net there. They had it in the Kansas zone forever. Kansas could not get clear or a line change here, and Miles just hung onto the puck. Great job, and then, of course, they're not going to like it if you get close or touch their goalie. So this is a great job. They just got to find a way to get out of the zone here and just create maybe some pressure on the opposite end.
So definitely the physicality starting to ramp up here. 3-1 still our score. Kansas in the lead. As it's going to be wrapped around Barker, trying to get it out of the zone. It was held in there by the Mavericks. Sent around, and an injured Jayhawk. Couldn't quite tell what had happened.
I have no idea what happened. Hopefully he's okay. That's not good. Looks like Travis Pryor is okay. He's up. That's good. That's a good sign there. He's having a great game. Mavericks using time here.
Seeing if I can get a little replay of what happened here in the preview that YouTube gives us. And yeah, it looks like he got clipped in that midsection where it counts the most. So
not a good feeling at all.
So the stoppage with 7:23 left to go. Period number 2. 3-1 still our score.
Whoa, I almost found the 5-hole right there on Miles.
The Jayhawks able to at least get it away before the Mavericks get it right back. A pass in the slot, broken up by Roberts. The Mavericks still get control, and it's going to be Duso skating it out of the zone. So a much-needed rush for the Jayhawks, finally getting it out of their defensive zone as it's Nelson getting pressured off the puck. And the Mavericks will dump it down, comes out to Miles. Miles will settle it for Hearn. He cleared it, couldn't get it out, held in there by O'Loughlin, kicked away by Miles, and it finds its way up over to Barker. And it's going to be played away by Hunsicker, sent into the zone right over to Roberts as it's chipped in around the boards.
A lot of neutral ice time here.
So Casiopo lost control. Hearn trying to chip it out. Mercier, a spin around shot, fanning on it. Pass over to Kozel, a shot. Miles will use a whistle here.
Another good save by Miles. Really no traffic in front of him. Saw it pretty easily. The Jayhawks really need a good rush here. They haven't really had a lot of their offensive zone time in a while. It's just been a lot of neutral ice and a lot of defensive ice time here. They got to get a rush here. Keep the pressure off of Miles here.
So Kansas won the face-off. Schubert tried to wrap it around the boards up over to Gerber, who was just right along the blue line, ready to skate it out. But the Mavericks were able to intercept. So Schubert will try it again. His headman pass, this time over to Fantoni. Fantoni able to keep it in. Over to Gerber now. Gerber under the goal line, poked off the puck, so Fantoni will pick it up to help him out. Up to Schubert, wristing one, blocked up front. And now Schubert with it. Medina kicking it to his stick. And there's going to be a penalty here on the Mavericks.
Schubert taking that one. He's celebrating that a little bit. Fans on the pass and then gets his team a power play. I mean, can't really do anything much better than that.
It looked like the referee signaled for an elbow.
Right to the head, it looks like.
So power play for the Jayhawks. 3-1 our score. 5:39 left to go, period number 2.
Be very crucial if they can make this a 4-1 game right now. 3-goal lead. A little bit more breathing room here. Great face-off win.
So Nelson back to Siddons. Siddons to Nelson. As they get an umbrella set up. Siddons got knocked down. Nelson got it to Feeney. Feeney back to Nelson. Nelson just circling around, trying to create some movement. As it's over to Feeney. Nessa up front, shot blocked up front. And now it's thrown to the corner. Casiopo able to make Nessa lose his stick. But the rebound's going to be picked up there by Nelson. So Nelson to Feeney, back to Nelson. Shot through traffic, right to Tate, and a whistle here.
Duso looked like he wanted a slap shot there by the circle. Didn't get the pass, but he was ready for that one. Got to keep peppering Tate here if you're the Jayhawks. We saw it, I mentioned the last weekend so many times because you need, maybe they can get a deflection here.
And right off the draw, Nelson won it back, but that was a great job by Feeney going down to dive it, but Kansas called offsides.
Putting his body on the line right there. Looks like Omaha had maybe a little bit of numbers too on their shorthanded opportunities, and he prevented that very fast.
So 4:51 left to go. About 1:12 left on the power play.
Someone's stick just went flying into the air. That was like a circus play right there. That thing flew probably 10 feet in the air.
So Feeney around to Siddons. And then just bodies going down everywhere.
You weren't lying when you said the physicality is really ramped up. Feeney was just lit up in front of the bench. A little bit late too, but It was a nice hit.
I think it might have been a little bit of a revenge hit, but here's Nelson just swooping in. He'll go under the goal line before trying to drop it back. Nessa now battling for it. Puck got stuck on the net. It's freed up and sent out. Now it's going to be a foot race for the puck. It's going to be Mercier chasing after it, but it's just under the goal line now. So a one-time shot right up front, just going over the net. Staying in play, though.
Looked like Andrew Kozel was wide, was right there in front of the net. Lucky that puck sailed over the net. That was close again.
So a delayed penalty on the Jayhawks. And then an icing, and I don't understand how, because Kansas is on the power play, but either way, we're going to get Siddons off.
1 second left on the power play for Kansas, so this is going to be basically just a power play for the Mavericks here. Interesting.
So the face-off at center ice due to the ill-advised icing call.
We saw that multiple times last weekend, too.
.340 left to go. 4-on-4 for one whopping second. And then the Omaha coach is trying to plead a case for the face-off to come down into the Kansas zone. So looks like it will go in favor of him, and it'll be a face-off to the right of Mitch Miles.
Yep. Like you said, 1 second on the 4-on-4 here. There's a lot of chirping in the stands right now. It feels like a genuine student section. It's kind of cool.
And especially with like some of the guys I've gotten to know pretty well off the ice, they really love the hostility and chirping that it gets, because it just makes them want to play harder. So if anything, it's helping them and motivating them a little bit more.
Exactly. The best athletes and the best players always get motivated by the hostile crowds. They don't feel any pressure. You feel a lot less pressure like that if you're not affected by it too much. Just let it motivate you.
And a shot from the point by Kozel, just going wide.
I don't believe he got all on that he wanted on that puck. Looks like he fanned a little bit, went a little bit to the Mitch Miles' right.
So it's going to be Hoffman through traffic, unable to find it on net, and it's going to be sent out of the zone. Racing after the puck was Kozel and Fantoni. Fantoni getting back on side, now Gerber with it. Gerber poked off the puck there, fighting for the puck up front, and a save made by Tate. And the rebound will go to Hoffman, who's going to turn on the Jets and come down the left side. He'll swing towards center now. Hoffman shoots, save made by Miles. Thrown to the corner, and Kansas will get it out and send it back.
Halfway through the penalty kill unit here. Great job so far. This guy keep clearing the pucks. Gets time to take him way faster.
So it's sent back the other way. Hoffman trying to get it across over to Mercier. Mercier at the bottom of the circle now. Crossed over to Hunsicker. He has it in the right corner. He'll send it back up over to Kozel. Kozel wrapping it around, but Roberts able to prevent that one. A shot blocked up front. Diving block there by Gerber. Cleared it, couldn't get it out. And Hoffman shoots and unable to find it on net again.
Roberts had a great block there. That puck almost got past the blue line.
So Hoffman off a pass from Hunsicker. Nice deflection there by Fantoni. Got it out of the zone, and Gerber able to shake off a hit. Gerber unable to catch the headman pass, so Kansas will just dump it in, and that gets a much-needed change going for the Jayhawks.
That was smart by Gerber, just letting that one go, letting them get more fresh bodies on the ice as this power play comes to an end.
So a shot blocked up front, goes to Siddons, who wrapped it around, unable to get it over to Nessa. He had to reach behind it, but it's going to be over to Feeney. Feeney, the backhand pass over to Walsh. Walsh now. Backhand up front. Feeney unable to tip it home on the doorstep. And now it's going to be skated out by Huppy up on the left side. Huppy slowly waiting. Shoots blocked up front. Siddons had it at his skates. It goes right to Miles, and it's loose, and they score.
Just looked like a situation where it just couldn't get control of the puck there. It just bounced a really bad way. Unfortunate for the Jayhawks there. Just couldn't get control. We got a one-goal game again. If if you're Kansas here, you just want to keep that momentum, not go for this last minute and 9 seconds. You want to keep a lead here going into the last period.
So just a flurry of chaos right on the doorstep. A lot of that started from Siddons just having that puck hit his skate. Gave it wide open to the Mavericks forwards, and they were able to capitalize.
Can't really do much about that.
So it's going to be sent back over to Nelson. Nelson drops it back, do so with it again. He'll throw it in. Tate made a save. Puck's loose as it's thrown to the corner. Unable to hold the line is Walsh. It's a foot race for the puck, and it's going to be Zolek now. Zolek, shoot save made by Miles, and a huge hit by Van Heerden.
They're going to call a penalty on Van Heerden for that. I don't know about that one. I think the ref's just trying to prevent some chaos erupting. He's been hit multiple times this game. There's been worse hits than that haven't been called. I don't think you can call that if you're the referees there. That's not. It was a nice hit. I think that was a late penalty call, too. You saw his hand didn't go up until he hit the boards. But that's why I'm up here and not down there.
So the big boy from South Africa, Loes Van Heerden, taking a seat for 2 minutes. That was a big hit in the corner.
Need to kill this one off, or kill the last 44 seconds in this period. Omaha had no momentum in the beginning. It was all Kansas, and then it just reversed.
So it's going to be over to Howell. Howell not sure what to do with it, so we'll drop it back over to Kozel. A shot through traffic, kicked away by Miles. Schubert played it to the corner, and it's a foot race for the puck as Duso was able to just poke it out of the zone as he tried to free it up over to Nelson. So a headman pass up over to Nelson. Nelson moving in. Kozel able to prevent that one. It's loose up front. Duso, a backhand shot.
The
He
captain! Shorthanded goal for the captain. Nelson created an opportunity there. Almost got it in himself, and Caleb Duso was right there. And the captain gets a great goal there. Much needed, too. Wow. That was a good break for Kansas. Once again, somehow Tyler Nelson is wide open on the opposite blue line. I'm not sure how you don't manage to count for that guy, so that was much needed. And great for Duso too. He's taken a couple big hits in front of the bench in this past period, and I bet that felt good putting that one in the net.
So in a penalty now going to Ryan Huppy. Didn't quite see what it was for, so it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for the last 12 seconds of this period, and then it'll carry over. So the face-off control by the Mavericks. Mercier trying to make his way in. Pressured off the puck there by Breyer as it's wrapped around over to Duso. And that'll do it here for the second period as Kansas will head off with a 4-2 lead here in Holland Ice. Gabe Daniel alongside Mike Hoblich will be back in just a little bit for the third and final period of this Friday night action. All right, we're ready. Gabe Daniel here, joined with Coach McConnell again. So just walk me through with what the biggest change into that second period was.
Man, our response has been awesome. Took a penalty, responded with a shorthanded, then they took a penalty. It's kind of the things that you love to see when your team is growing. Again, the responses were in the past. We might have just gotten emotional. We responded with a goal, so that's what we got to have, and we had our leaders do it. So the biggest thing is, I think, that, and you're watching the team just continue to grow. Success, it's awesome.
And then with Luce, big hit in the corner that resulted into a penalty. Obviously, it flared some emotions. Do you think that's going to be a big factor heading into that third period?
It's an emotional game. We've been battling with how to control them, use it. It can be a tool. It can be your greatest weapon. Use your emotions to your advantage. If they control you, then we're going to have issues. The way Duso and Tyler went out, responded, again, I think that changed that emotional temperament, and it's going to be in our favor.
And then heading into the third period, what's going to be the biggest key to close it out?
Stay out of the box, control the puck. Keep playing our game. We're getting better every shift. So just keep doing that. Worry about the things we can control and let go of the things that we can't.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, Gabe.
And we are back for period number 3 here inside the Holland Ice Arena. Gabe Daniel alongside Mike Hoblich. It's 4-2 Kansas, and man, things really started to get interesting there in that last little bit where Luce Van Heerden laid a big hit in the corner, and that resulted in a penalty. And obviously the emotions and tempers flared from that, so it's going to be interesting to see how things ride out. Because, like Coach McConnell said in that interview, hockey is an emotional game, and then obviously that is going to control a lot of the other things. As I do think we will have a little bit of a delay here as some of the lights did shut off. We got to get those back on in order to be played. So,
yeah, you can't really play hockey with no lights right now. I mean, it'd be cool, but I don't think you can. You talked about it, Gabe. The tempers flared a little bit at the end of that, and I wouldn't be surprised if Coach pressured his guys in the locker room to not give in. That Omaha's going to try to get under the skin of some Kansas players here, especially Van Heerden, so they're just going to have to stay controlled and stay even-tempered.
So it will be 4-on-4 for the first minute 17 until Luce Van Heerden's out of the box, and that puts Kansas on the power play for about 31 seconds. The Jayhawks still in control of the shot column, 26-23.
They were outshot. Omaha outshot them last period, 14-11. So we'll see how this one. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a very even period if we're talking about shot-wise. Van Heerden probably calmed down a little bit. He was very animated after that penalty call and after that hit. I don't think I blame him very much.
I don't think there was a single person in the rink who wasn't animated by it.
That first period was pretty calm when it came to tempers flaring. It was very good hockey, just no after hit, no after whistle stuff. And then second period, it kind of picked up a little bit.
Yeah, and then, well, I mean, it's hard to say that the game was calm, like, especially when there wasn't like as big of a hit that Van Heerden had.
Good face-off win by Nelson.
So it's tossed up over to Duso. Duso just threw it into the zone. And it's going to be picked up there by Howell. Howell around his own net. Dropping it back, and Hearn trips up at center ice. And the Mavericks fans trying to give him a little bit, even though this ice has been causing issues for players and their edges all day.
Yeah, we've seen it multiple times already in this third period. In the warm-ups, a couple players slipped in already in this first period, only 28 seconds in. Around 3 players have slipped. It's been happening all game, though.
Yeah, and I think part of it might be from the curling session that was going on the ice right before the game.
I honestly would not be surprised at all if that was the cause of it.
As there's a shot just right over the net. It's going to go to the corner where Hearn's going to be the first man on it. Hearn back over to Roberts. Roberts around. Roberts up to do so. He's able to tip it into the zone. Now Howell from his own net. He'll swing to the right side before dropping it back over to Mercier. Mercier's just going to dump it in. Miles thought about coming out to play it, but it just goes right by him, and it's going to be Hearn skating it up for the Jayhawks.
They can keep this puck in the zone for the last 5 seconds maybe, which they turn over as soon as I say that.
As this could be Hoffman, cross ice over to Mercier. Mercier will curl back around, and he just positions himself perfectly for Breyer to get it up over to Siddons. Siddons to Breyer, a little too much mustard on that pass, and it'll get away. So Walsh across to Siddons. Siddons, a backhand pass over to Feeney. Feeney trying to get it over to Nelson, just streaking in the slot, and it'll go to Walsh. Walsh in the corner will get it around over to Feeney. Feeney settling it for Breyer. As both teams are now back to full strength.
We're already seeing some hits after the puck has left.
And it's going to be penalty on number 8. So Greg Sachs heading off again.
Multiple penalties in this game for Sachs. I mean, you're going to see that multiple times. I believe the Mavericks are just going to continue to try to get in the heads of the Jayhawks. Looks like a little confusion, too. Siddons heading off, had 6 men on the ice.
As it's a face-off won by the Mavericks. They dumped it down, but Miles came all the way out to play that one out. As it's thrown in, it'll be picked up by Roberts. Now Gerber on the right side. He's going to turn on some speed. Does a little leg kick before taking the shot. Kicked away by Tate. It's going to be held in by Walsh. Walsh easily pressured off the puck there by Mercier. So it's going to be Fantoni with it again. Now Fantoni. He's going to throw it to the corner and then race after it. Under the goal line, he had it, turned it over, and then it's just sent out of the zone, knocked down by Walsh. So no icing as it comes all the way back.
Did a couple of fresh bodies on the ice here for the Jayhawks. They got time too.
So it's going to be a crossover to Roberts. Roberts able to get it up over to Feeney. Back to Gerber. Unable to catch the pass, so it's going to be Medina who chops it in, and that'll finish the line change for Kansas. So McConnell shaking up the lines a little bit. It's Siddons, Nelson, and Nessa.
Good to have. It's very scary to have Tyler Nelson on the power play unit.
So that power play unit for the Jayhawks still out there. They got about 41 seconds left to do some more damage with that.
This guy keeps firing shots here on Tate. I mean, you saw that on one of the first rushes on this power play. Puck kicked right off of his leg pad. Fortunately, the Jayhawks were not there for it, but it was there. Deflection was right there. See if they can just get more of those opportunities and take advantage of them, or if they can just fire a shot on net and just traffic in front confuses them.
So Nelson with it. Tries a shot from an odd angle. Rebound up front, and it's the captain making it 5-2, just like that.
As we were just saying, the puck bounced, looked like it bounced right off his shoulder, and it was Dussault was right there for it.
And then they're trying to argue that it got kicked.
Yeah, ref's discussing that, I believe.
Which it was tough to tell at full speed, as it was a weird shot and then it sort of just bounced right to do so, and they're trying to say that there was a kicking motion and it will count. So 5-2 our score.
Much needed goal there.
16:33 left to go, and a very unhappy Omaha coach.
CJ Tate also not happy either. Omaha goalie. He definitely believes that as soon as that puck went in the net, he was signaling a kicking motion. And the power play unit does damage.
Either way, it's going to be a power play goal for the Jayhawks.
Do so with his second of the game. Has a shorthanded and a power play goal. Jayhawks get a little breathing room from that goal too.
So the face-off controlled by the Mavericks now as Kozel's going to walk it in. Kozel shoots one over the net as it goes to the corner. As it's going to be wrapped around over to Barker. Barker getting it over to Nelson. Nelson now flying in with speed, cross ice over to Dusso. Trying to just throw it right on net for Nelson to tip it in.
That was a pretty good pass right there, just Nelson couldn't get anything on it. Flew through a couple of bodies.
So now it's going to be Nelson up on the left side. Nelson, drop pass over to Dusso, fanning on the shot, and the Mavericks are going to try to skate it out. And a nice blocker save by Miles out of the air. Van Heerden trying to play it up and out.
Almost looked like that caught Miles' stick. That was close.
So now Kozel with it, passing it back under the net. Kozel, a shot from an odd angle, kicked away by Miles. Now it's Hunsicker with it. Hunsicker walking, shooting, and he scores.
They get it right back. Much needed goal for the Mavericks there. Jayhawks just could not clear that puck out of the zone.
So back within two, the Mavericks make it 5-3. 15-16 left to go.
We preach this. All hockey players do. Short-term memory for the goalies. They cannot let a previous mistake go to their head, as the domino effect is real in sports, especially this one. Just got to get some more offensive zone time if you're the Jayhawks here. Don't allow Omaha to take advantage of that momentum from that goal.
So right off the draw, it's going to be back over to Nessa. Nessa walking in off the backhand, shoots, it's loose, and they score! How about that for an answer?
Absolute chaos in front of the net once again. Oh, that one's going to feel good.
And I think it was Feeney putting home the rebound, so it's going to feel even better for him.
He's been taking it all day from the student section, so I bet you he's probably got a big smile on his face after that one. I mean, that was just pure chaos in front of the net. Puck went in right before the net was dislodged. And really, you mentioned it. Talk about an answer.
And I think Siddons was jawing back with the fan right as he's lining up for the face-off. So it's going to be a face-off won by Omaha. Cross ice over to Mercier. Mercier throws one in right to the glove of Miles, and just with ease.
What a chaotic third period so far. It's been just back and forth, answers back, just keep answering. If you're the Mavericks here, you got to get a goal fast. If you just want to make this a multiple two-goal game like they did a couple minutes ago.
As it's Siddons with it in the corner. He's going to wheel around with it. Now he's going to fly down the ice. Siddons walks it in. He's going to do a little saucer pass over to Nessa. Nessa's going to get it back over to Siddons. And now Siddons, he's going to just draw it up. Spinning around, shoots, and he scores! And welcome to the Siddons Show, as it is 7-3.
I don't know how. That was a weird angle shot, and it looked like it just snuck over the shoulder of Tate. Wow. 3 goals in less than 6 minutes for the Jayhawks in this period. Man.
And the fan that was trying to draw at Siddons just face in the hands, kind of laughing, looking in disbelief.
Yeah, gotta take that one. Gotta take that one on the chin sometimes. Looks like Omaha has called their timeout too. Probably a much needed one after 3 very fast goals here. We've had 4 goals in this period combined already.
So 7-3 our score. 14:24 left to go here in the third period.
It's gotta feel good if you're Mitch Miles, right? He allows that pretty freak goal to make it a 5-3 game, and then his team got his back, and they scored 2 very fast goals right after that.
Yeah, absolutely, and just everything that Mitch has been through with this club over the years, especially with Cole Walsh and Caleb Dusso, just those long tenured guys. It's phenomenal just to see how it's grown, and I know Miles is really appreciative of that, just coming from his freshman year where there wasn't necessarily a season, and the closest thing they had was driving out to Independence on Monday nights and playing as like a free agent team in that men's league. I only bring that up because I skated out with them for that, just because that's how little guys we had. And just going from no season freshman year to playoff bound your senior year, that's just the turnaround you could even ask for.
Absolutely. So. What a weird time that was. It's just so good to see that. And it's paying off right now, the chemistry.
As it's Fantoni dumping it in, playing it back behind the net. It's going to be wrapped around over to Zolek. Now a shot by Mercier, blockered away by Miles, and jumping on top of that one. So an odd bounce off the blocker, but Miles able to find where it went and jump on top of that.
All that matters is that he got it. Doesn't matter how, it's all that matters is he got it. Schubert giving him some words there. Maybe a little encouragement, or maybe they're just talking. You always wonder, we're not close enough to hear what they say to each other, but you always wonder what they're talking. Like when they go talk to their goalies after like maybe a goal goes in, what they say to them. Obviously encouraging words, but I always have wondered that.
So the face-off over to Howell, his shot, unable to find the net. Nelson trying to backhand it off the boards up over to Dusso. And it's going to be held in by Howell. Howell playing it over to Kozel. Kozel stripped of the puck by Dusso, and now Howell with it. Curling around. Backhand pass over to Fours outside of the zone, so the Mavericks have to get back on side. Cross-ice pass, finds it over to Hunsicker, who's going to just wrap it around. Miles will come out to slow it down. And a great play there by Schubert to help out Miles, as it was almost costly there. Dusso able to at least skip it out of the zone. 13-10 left to go.
Schubert continues to be the guy just creating pressure, and when things don't go the Jayhawks' way, he's right there to make sure that it doesn't domino effect to even more bad things. He's been like that the entire game. He's had multiple poke checks that were pretty much saved a rush from the Mavericks.
So a turnover there, right over to Dusso, finds it to Nelson. Kicked it back over to Dusso, and he'll throw it in and get almost a full platoon swap there. Nelson's still out onto the ice, and as the puck is dumped in, he'll head to the bench for a change probably.
Still out there.
So Hunsicker with it, back behind the net. Van Heerden laying a hit, and a stoppage here, and it looks like it's just because the net came off. So looks like Luce is staying out of a little bit of trouble there.
Got close there. How many times a game do you think Mitch Miles does his little lap back and forth? So every time that there's a stoppage, he seems to be moving.
You know, I don't think I have an answer for that question. Either way, we're going to get the face-off to the right of him.
Tyler Nelson looks like he went off. Much needed change.
So off the draw and sent up over to Pendleton. Pendleton trying to get it across over to Meade, and a foot race. And instead, Omaha will get there first. And then a nice hit there in the corner by Mead. So just laying the body. That's something that Mead loves to do when he's out there. A great piece of that fourth line and a nice shot block there by Van Heerden. You could tell he felt that one a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Looks like he picked up his leg a little bit after that one, but seems to be okay.
As it's thrown back the other way, Mead gets sat down.
Yeah, here come the hits. We were waiting for this.
As it's going to be sent around. Carney able to hold the line. Trying to force it back in. It's lofted up into the air. Hearn able to knock it down. Couldn't hold the line. So he'll throw it back in. And that will allow Kansas to finish up their line change as the Mavericks send it out. Over to the tape of Hearn. Finds it to Nessa. Almost poked out of the zone, and it's sent back in by Hearn, and Nessa even getting a piece of it, just a lot of back and forth, and then it's finally sent out. Feeney picks it back up for the Jayhawks as he's able to get it across over to Siddons. Siddons with it. Trying to make a nice move there in the slot. Puck was loose, and it's going to go over to Casiopo now for the Mavericks. Casiopo trying to find it across over to Mercier. It's going to be backhanded away by Roberts, but held in by Mercier. A nice hit, frees up the puck for Nessa. Nessa, he'll swing to the left side. At the hash marks, drops it back. Feeney, Hearn shoots, rebound to Siddons. It's loose, and somehow it doesn't go in. So Siddons picks up the rebound for the Jayhawks. In the deep slot, he'll get it across over to Schubert. To Nessa, rips one. Siddons trying to drop it back to Feeney, who is going to be wide open there. And it's Feeney stripping it away. He gets hauled down, and that will get called. So 10-12 left to go. Another Kansas power play on the way.
John Feeney has just created almost that whole offensive rush right there. You saw that hit he laid in the center ice, and it caused almost a goal. I don't know how that puck did not find its way into the net, but and then he draws the penalty too. Just that was a great shift by John Feeney there. He didn't get the points or anything, but he created opportunities, and now he's creating an even bigger one now.
So 10-12 left to go. 7-3 our score. As it's sent all the way back down, a nice clear by the Mavericks as Roberts was playing it down. So Roberts from back behind his own net, left it for Gerber. And now Gerber on the left side, he'll swing towards the center and then just waltz his way in. Gerber dropped it back over to, I believe he was intending to get that to Fantoni, but the Mavericks take it away and send it all the way back down. Miles thought about playing it, and a nice shot there by Kozel, just high and wide. Now it's going to be Roberts skating it up, pass it over to Fantoni. Fantoni cross ice over to Gerber, and he's got room to work. He'll drop it back over to Walsh, and an offside call here on the Jayhawks.
Barely cleared that. Barely cleared the blue line. I don't know how Kozel was that wide open right in front of the net there. He's lucky that shot. Miles is lucky that shot went way over. Some fans not agreeing with that call there, that offsides call.
So the faceoff easily won back over to Nelson, and now Nelson will stutter step a little bit before he walks it up. He's going to head up on the left side and button hooking around. Trying to drop it back and just left it right for Hoffman, who got it up over to Huppy, and Huppy on the left side shot just over the net. Still in play as it's Siddons with it. Now Siddons swings in with it. He's going to draw it back. Thought about sending it back over to the point. Instead, he'll cross it over to Feeney. Up front, Siddons, a shot, not on net. Duso picked it up in the corner now. Now Siddons with it. Back to Duso. Now to Nelson, as he's just going to walk it in. Now to Nessa, hash marks. Try to pass it across, and it's just sent out of the zone by the Mavericks.
One last rush here in the last 10 seconds for the Jayhawks so they can get one.
And a nice move there by Nelson. 2 goals on the night, looking for his third as he's just going to button hook around. He'll get a pass to Feeney. Feeney up front to do so, and a save made by Tate as that puck dropped by Siddons right to Nessa. As Siddons is just going to go to the corner to apply pressure. He was able to free it up over to Nessa. As Nessa is going to walk up with it from one knee. He was able to complete a pass to Feeney, who just chipped it around the boards, trying to find it into the corner. And it's going to be the Mavericks with it. Great pressure there by Siddons.
Continuing it.
As it's going to be taken away by Nelson. Siddons walks in, shoots, and a save made by Tate. And you saw Siddons act like he was about to go over and hit him. Made him flinch. As there's a nice hit in the corner there by O'Laughlin. And there's a call on its way.
Absolute chaos that just ensured for the last 30 seconds. First, Dussault almost had his 3rd goal of the night right there in front of the net. It was just a nice save. And then, Brett Siddons going over and making him flinch a little bit. I did notice that. It made me laugh. You don't really use I thought he was actually going to go after him.
So it's a foot race for the puck. Gerber sprays Tate with snow, and now there's going to be a crowd involved. And it's beyond me why you would get that mad about your goalie getting sprayed. Especially when the play is happening like it is.
This is exactly what they're going to try to do, too.
Just because, a guy's coming full speed, you either get mowed over or you get sprayed with a little bit of snow.
And you get angry over being sprayed with a little bit of snow. I honestly think they're just trying to get the retaliation penalties here.
And I don't think it's working as much. And it's really great to see guys like Lance Medina, who used to have issues, especially with that stuff, able to, stay calm and stay out of the box. And that's been big for Kansas. They haven't been in the box as much this period, and it's paying its dividends. And I fear I might have spoke too soon. I see Medina walking that way, and he is going to take a seat.
It looks like at the end of that all that extracurricular stuff at the end of that, it looks like he maybe threw a little bit of a shot. I'm not sure if that was him, though. But it was a great job by Gerber. He barely sprayed him, and then he tried going away from it. He just got grabbed. Waiting to see here what exactly the penalties are going to be.
So it's looking like O'Laughlin and Medina.
It didn't look like Medina did too much. Maybe just threw a little shot, but it wasn't egregious.
As we wait and see what the penalties are. The Mavericks do have one on the board, and then finally O'Laughlin will go to the box. So with 7:20 left to go, it's looking like we're going to see some 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. 7-3 our score in favor of Kansas.
Just got to keep the cooler head here, be the bigger person, and of any late hits, maybe hits that the refs won't call, just keep playing the game and don't go after them, because then that can result in some just stuff that you don't need happening. We saw that last weekend too, the very end of the game, so we just don't want to see that.
So it's going to be Kozel with it up on the right side. Kozel throws one on net, kicked away by Miles, and it's cleared up to do so, and it'll escape the zone. So Kozel will have it back again for the Mavericks. Kozel sending it back. Crossed over to Hoffman now. Hoffman working his way in up on the right side. So he's just going to try to drop it back. A one-time shot by Kozel. Might have hit a man up front, but the Mavericks still holding it in. Hoffman again. Wrister, glove saved by Miles.
Good recognition again. Not much, a little bit of traffic into his eyesight, maybe his peripheral vision. Just made a nice glove save there. I'm honestly very interested to see how Medina is gonna react after that, because I do not believe he did much. I could be very wrong, but looked like Coach Andy was talking to him while he was in the box, telling him just to make sure like it's all good.
So a shot over the net. Rebound picked up by Huppy. Huppy at the blue line, fanned on it. And he'll drop it back up over to Fours. And it's Fours with it again. And a nice interception there by Feeney as he's just going to wheel in. Takes a shot on Tate and a save made with 6:09 left to go.
Almost an immediate jinx here from the student section. I don't know if you could hear it. They said a little chirp to Don Feeney right there. He proceeds to immediately intercept the pass and almost score a goal. It was almost lightning struck twice in that circumstance.
So it's Juan back over to Nessa. Play to the far corner for Feeney. So Feeney staying on his feet, got it to Siddons in the corner. Now Siddons with it. He's able to play it up over to Breyer. Breyer tried to wrist one through traffic, blocked up front. Breyer still holding the line, getting pressured against the boards, trying to make a pass, intercepted there by the Mavericks. And it's going to be skated down on the right side by Fours. Backdoor Huppy and a glove save by Miles, bringing us a stop with 5:39 left to go and 19 seconds of 4-on-4.
If you're the Mavericks, you have to get a couple goals here, take advantage of this 4-on-4 hockey, or immediately as soon as it ends, you just gotta find just shots on net, because you can't go into an empty net situation betting down 3 goals. That's just not. It's usually just not how it works. So they gotta find a couple to get in the back of the net here.
Now it's going to be played around over to Fantoni. Intercepted there by Mercier. Now Mercier walking in, tries to throw something on net with the backhand, kicked away by Miles, and both teams back to full strength. As it's just going to be Breyer walking it in. Dropped it right at the line, so Medina's going to hold it in. He's going to swing to the left. Trying to throw a little bit on net. Medina picking up his own rebound. Now Breyer off the boards, finds it to Fantoni. Fantoni cross over to Walsh. Walsh centering, and it's unable to get on net as Gerber had a good look, just going to get a shot off, and now it's going to be Hunsicker with it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, he had a really nice. This is a really nice pass. Just couldn't get all that right there. They're finding open men though. The Jayhawks have been doing a great job of that today, just finding the guys who are open and getting them the puck.
So Hunsicker back behind his own net. Just about 4.5 minutes left in this one. Kansas up by 4. As it's Walsh with it. Over to Fantoni. Fantoni, nice hit on Casiopo. As it's lofted up into the air, intended for Gerber, but it goes right over to Sachs, and there's another hit by Van Heerden. Sachs takes another hit from Fantoni, and then Walsh spins off a hit. Now up over to Gerber, taken away by Kozel. Kozel drops it back over to number 4. That's going to be Paul. Held into the zone by Dusso, throwing it on net. Save made by Tate. Play to the corner. Held in at the blue line by Schubert. Wrist one through traffic, punched away by Tate. As it's going to be wrapped around.
These last 4 minutes, you got to just stay level-headed and just keep playing clean hockey for the Jayhawks here.
And it's a hand pass called on Kansas. Schubert caught that one out of the air. He couldn't play it with his stick in time as soon as he dropped it, so we'll have a pause with 3:27 left to go.
Very interested to see what the final shot total will be in this game. Last Saturday against Nebraska, Kansas was outshot and they got the victory 5-3. So we'll see how many shots went their way this game.
So another block there by Schubert as it's a headman pass up over to Barker. Now Barker at the right side throws something over around and it'll skitter out of the zone, so it's going to be back picked up by Nelson. Now Nelson again, headman, finds it to Barker. Barker banks it off the boards into the far corner, and Forrest is going to be the first one there, and he'll crank it around. Schubert holds the line, plays it back to the corner, around behind the net. Barker trying to get it, but it's going to be picked up there by Forrest. Forrest throws it in, goes around the net, in the far corner for Howell. Howell pressured off by Breyer. Able to get a pass up over to Kozel. Kozel poked off the puck, and it's going to be Nelson. And he's just going to turn on the Jets on the left side. Nelson drops it to Dusso. Dusso throws one around, not on net, held in at the blue line by Feeney, who rifles that back in. Passed out of the zone, picked up there by Howell. Played aside by Miles. And now it's going to be Hearn. Getting it up over to Feeney. Now Feeney with it. Across to Hearn.
Nice move.
As Hearn will walk it up. He'll get it over to Dusso. Dusso back to Hearn. Sent the other way now Mercier. Mercier's going to try to wheel in. And a nice stick play by Roberts. And a penalty called.
A lot of contact there in front of the net.
And had to make the sacrificial play to keep Omaha from getting one back. So Kansas will head to the penalty kill, and they'll be able to just dump the puck down from here on out.
Yep. 1:52 left. That's one of those situations where you risk taking the penalty instead of just allowing the goal. So, and in being up 4 goals, it's not a bad penalty. Fortunate that Mercier got up too. It sounded like almost like he hit the post and then the boards too hard.
So the face-off won by the Mavericks. Skip pass over to Hunsicker. Hunsicker, backdoor Hoffman, save by Miles. Puck was loose and a little bit of pushing and shoving. So a stoppage with 1:40 left to go.
Ref's getting in. Looks like that he got in front of Feeney, just making sure nothing too bad. Good job by Kansas not retaliating, though. Mitch Miles got bumped a little bit. Couldn't stop the momentum there. I believe that was Hoopy. Yeah, Hoop. Just couldn't stop his momentum. Accidentally touched Miles a little bit. Good job, though. Jayhawks just didn't retaliate.
As it's Hunsicker with it. He's going to walk it in. Now at the corner, getting pressured by Feeney. He's going to try a pass around the net. And it's going to be taken away by Siddons. Siddons up over to Feeney. Feeney, he's going to draw it in. Gets knocked down in the corner. And the puck will head back the other way. And he's going to be in a headlock. And then here we go.
Pucks? Oh, they blew the whistle.
So just some words exchanged, and then Siddons gets a face wash, and that's going to get some pushing and shoving.
Oh, he's not. He is not happy at all. Coming to the defense of his teammate. Taking a hand to the face from someone on an opposite team when you're defending your teammate, enough to make one person mad, so. Coach Andy said it's a very emotional game, too. We only have a minute left in this one. Looks like that Omaha is going to have 2 players in the box, along with Kansas now, with Siddons going into the box. Captain's meeting with the referees. Rest of this game looks like it might be some short-handed hockey for one certain team. I'm just not sure yet. 4-on-3 hockey, it looks like, Gabe. At least right now. I believe there's 3 guys in the penalty. Yeah, there's one sitting down. The bench is not big enough. There's 3 guys in the penalty box for Omaha.
So
maybe not. I don't know. This is a weird situation.
So Kansas on the power play now with 1:04 left to go, as it's a face-off win over across to Nessa, over to Nelson now in the corner. So Duso dropped it back. Nessa settling it, gets it over. And a stoppage here. Not sure what for.
Interesting. Not sure what that was about. Well, we're going to continue now. .35 seconds left. They just got to keep this in the zone here.
So Nelson over to Breyer. Breyer across to Duso. As that puck's loose. Nessa with it now. As he's just going to coast around with it. In the corner. Back to Breyer. Nelson again. As he's going to just walk it in. As he'll work his way around, a wraparound pass over to Duso, and he gets mowed over. This could be a foot race for the puck. As this could be passed back over to Miles, and that'll do it. Another win here by Kansas, 7-3 the final, and they'll be in action tomorrow morning bright and early at 10 a.m. for game number 2 and the last regular season game of the season.
Should be another fun one tomorrow, Gabe. I believe the fireworks will be just as much, honestly. That game started off slow for the first couple minutes, and after that, it was just constant fireworks back and forth. Great game, great job from the Jayhawks there.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the final score is 7-3, and I believe that is the second 7-3 win in a row against Omaha.
It is.
If we want to find one of the LeBron stats of the ACHA. So there's that. But again, thank you everyone staying up and spending your evening with us. We'll talk to you guys again bright and early tomorrow morning for a 10 a.m. puck drop. Gabe Daniel alongside Mike Hoblich. You guys enjoy the rest of your night.